Blutbart.
Hello and welcome back to another behind the scenes toy photography video. Today I'm going to show you how to revisit old ideas. I call this shot Bounty Acquired 2. I've been doing toy photography for about 6 years now, and when you're pumping out a new photo every week, there are times where you can feel like you're stuck in a creative rut. When that happens, I like to look back at some of my older work, both for inspiration and to see how my skills have advanced. Sometimes doing this compels me to recreate one of my previous shots. I took this shot, called Bounty Acquired, back in June of 2022, just a few months before I started this YouTube channel. While I was pleased with it at the time, I now see a whole bunch of ways I could have executed this shot more skillfully. I began my setup similarly to the first iteration by spreading out some sand on my stage and displaying an image of a desert on my background TV. While I liked the way I posed my toys in the previous version, I don't think I framed them very well, so this time I used a shorter focal length while placing my camera much closer to my subjects. This allowed me to take up most of the shot with my toys, leaving a lot less empty space. Instead of using the whipcord accessory that came with this deluxe Boba Fett, I replaced it with some metal wire so that I wouldn't have to worry about it going slack if my toys shifted a bit. For Boba's ship in the background, my original photo featured the Power of the Force Slave one released in 1996. I had to position it awkwardly to account for the sheer size of it and to conceal some of the missing panels on the side. For my new version, I used the Micro Galaxy Squadron Slave one. It's much smaller and I was able to fit the whole ship in the frame. Here's my starting image. Because I was using such a wide open aperture, I took 4 separate exposures to get a tight focus on several individual elements. I began my edit by manually focus stacking the exposures with layer masking. Next, I added a variety of adjustment layers to tweak the lighting and color grading. One of my issues with my first iteration of this shot was the lighting. If I recall correctly, I used an actual desk lamp to take the shot. This time, I used a programmable LED softbox to get more diffused light, perfect for the heat haze of a desert planet. After cropping the image, I used the healing brush tool and content aware fill to detoy my toys. Lastly, I felt like the background was a little washed out, so I used the brush tool to manually redraw the suns, making them stand out a bit more against the sky. A quick pass over with the dodge tool, and I was done. So once again, here's my starting image. And here's where I ended up. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing, and make sure to check me out on Instagram. Thanks, and until next time!